Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Remember, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another Ab Daily News with your hockey coach, Guru Coach Frenchy. Today, episode number 309. What your minute coach today? First of all, I want to talk about Matt V. MICHKOV. I'm going to show to you his friend clip, and the reason why I believe is maybe the second best player prospect in the upcoming draft NHL. And finally, we're going to talk about again the Ab prospect update and news. But before we start, we invite you, please don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Show, and leave me comments about this episode. And let's dive in talking about the MICHKOV. So yes, I'm going to talk about MICHKOV today. I think is you're going to realize how is talented this kid. First of all, guys, MICHKOV, the problem, couple of red flag, and the reason maybe some team not going to draft him right away is because his contract until 2025, 2026 with the KHL. Secondly, the situation with Ukraine and Russia creates some kind of problem. Then his development during that time of he's going to stay in KHL, how his development is going to be. And finally, the last thing is, of course, any team is going to draft MICHKOV has going to testing the patient to wait for MICHKOV when he's going to be ready and play in NHL. One thing we have to remember is MICHKOV confirmed is going to be at the NHL Draft 2023 in Nashville June 28 and June 29. One thing they said about MICHKOV, guys, is that after Ovechkin and Malkin, this may be the best prospect Russia never showed to any team in NHL. That's how is MICHKOV. Last year, it was loaned from the CSKA team to the worst team in the KHL, Sochi. That increasing is still high per game, an average about 16 to 17 minutes per game, and that's make him to score 20 point, guys, in 27 games. This is the highest number of productivity and unoffensive side to any young players play in the KHL at 17 years old. Better to Panarin, better to Kaprizov. That's what I said. MICHKOV is an elite player going to be one day in NHL. What kind of type of player is MICHKOV? From what I learned, first of all, he create offense. This is how he is. How he do that? By his dynamic trait, his elite puck skill he has. Then his elite puck angling. He has an amazing, great hands. Then MICHKOV is another way is really good. He's an expert to change his speed. He can do some kind of move where he's so explosive, and then he can cut back and change the direction. Really good at the end finally to changing his angle to attack from the wall to the middle. This is another threat for any player. Use those kind of abilities, make them better and create some kind of offensive. So let's watching first 4 clips where you're going to see Kaprizov create some kind of offense. So the first clip, guys, is Kaprizov right there. He's going to carry on the puck and off an entry zone. He go all the way to the wall. You can see how he's going to change his speed and how he's going to beat the defender with his move. What a great move. One hand, guys, and bring the puck in front of the net and create some kind of opportunity for his teammate. Let's watching again this clip. Again, MICHKOV's coming to the neutral zone, pick the puck and entrance zone. He moved now. You're going to see changing his speed and beat the defenseman with one move with the hands right away there. And then he's going to cut back, turn around, and bring the puck in front of the net and a chance for his teammate. The second video I want to talk about, guys, is right there, MICHKOV behind the net. He's going to have, yes, he did a Michigan goal. He scored 4 goals like this last year, by the way. Again, his move is unbelievable. And that's the reason MICHKOV is an excellent hockey player. So the next video I want to talk about, guys, is this one here. He's going to attack from the wall to the middle, changing angling. That's what I'm talking about earlier. From the wall, we like an elite player use those kind of characteristics to changing his game from the wall to the middle. Finally, his last video on the offensive side, it's MICHKOV right here, waiting for the puck, retrieve the puck, create a penalty, attract all 4 players looking for him, and on one knee, he's going to pass the puck to the back door. What a save by the goaltender. But let's watching again this video, and that's what MICHKOV is again. In the middle of the ice, he's going to retrieve the puck, and then he's going to draw a penalty, and then on one knee, he's going to pass the puck All the four players looking at him. Great pass on the back door, but what a great save of the goaltender. And that's one reason, guys, I'm talking about how he is, Michkov, how talented he become the last couple of years as a hockey player. The next thing I want to talk about, guys, for the next 3 videos is about how he used his elite hockey sense to create some kind of off the rush. That's something Michkov is excellent too as a hockey player. So let's back to the video. On this one, guys, Michkov is on the wall, waiting now for the puck, and then he pick up the puck right away there. He's going to raise a 2 versus 1, get out of the zone, carry on the puck all the way, and now he hold a little bit more. Pass the puck, and then create some kind of 2-on-1. That's why we call it off the rush. The next video I'm talking about, guys, is this one. Now he's on neutral zone, wait for the puck. It's going to be retrieving right there, turn around, and again, it's where is Michkov is out of the space, is wave into the middle to find the spot and then create some kind of rush all the way there. And that's what Michkov is so good. Hockey sense we talk about, and then he passed the puck in the back door. But that's what is Michkov. Finally, on that sequence, one more video for you guys on this one. Michkov is to the wall. He's coming now, turn around, attack the neutral zone, and now creates some extra space to outside, and then use his body to carry on the puck around the net, and then bring a puck in front of the net. That's why we talk about how Michkov is so good on the off to the rush. And one more thing I want to talk about, guys, about Michkov and show to you some fun kind of video is Michkov need to improve his defensive zone coverage. Like young hockey player, guys, is one area Michkov need to become better. Yes, he play with KHL. Yes, he play against men. It's not easy. But I think sometimes it's very difficult for him to passive to the defending the point to the opponent team. It's really difficult to cover his point because he let them to have more space and let them to move more the puck. And that's one thing Michkov need to become better. Secondly, he blew this defensive zone early. So what you talk about? So what he believe is a battle 50-50. He think his team's going to retrieve the puck. He's get out right away. It's something you need to be a little bit more patient. So let's see 2 more videos about Michkov when I'm talking about his defensive zone coverage. So here's watching him on defensive zone coverage where he have difficult time. Now he go backwards. Now he don't protect the puck. He lose the puck because he turned his skate and gave an opposite for opponent team. Let's watching again what I'm talking about. And we're going to go very slowly there. Now he believe now it's going to be a breakout behind the net. He attacking the wall without knowing the defender is going to pinch him. You would like to have that plus like Michkov protect the puck more to using his body versus the opponent team. But right there, he does not do. He turned his skating to the wall, face to the board. We don't like to see a player like he did right now. And that's the way he turned around the puck and then opposite for opponent team. Finally, guys, the last one here is Michkov goes for the loose puck with just his stick and no body. That's another area he need to become better. Watching him behind the net, and that's it, that's all. He got beat easily because he did not protect the puck. First of all, he does not use his body. Exactly what happened in the video prior to that one over there. That's something Michkov need to become better on defensive zone, guys. Those kind of super elite players at young age, they are really focusing more on the offensive. With time, he's going to develop, of course, his defensive zone coverage to become better. Finally, guys, my conclusion about Michkov. Michkov offensive tools are off the chart good. He's gifted with his offensive and sense, has unbelievable puck skill, a high-end shot, underrated playmaking vision, and a calculate style of attacking that makes him creative, slippery, and unpredictable. He is not the fastest in a straight line, but is an excellent on his edge, spinning away from check and making play in high traffic. And that's the reason why I believe Michkov, after Bedard, is the best prospect for the upcoming NHL Draft 2023. Unfortunately, we wish we have more clips of Michkov from the KHL. I was lucky to find those kind of clips, but again, that'll give you a little bit an overview of what looked like Michkov, and I hope we can understand a little bit more who is really Michkov. That's concluded, guys, my first subject, but I would like to hear from you. Let me comments about what you think about Michkov. Let's move on now, guys, for my last subject of the day. My second subject, guys, of course, is about the Montreal Canadiens news in the update. It's all about the Montreal Canadiens prospect. Some of them have an opportunity to play on the Memorial Cup 2023. Beck, MEILLEUR, and Davidson. But the biggest news was not about the result or the outcome of the game. It was the result of a really big news. It was Owen Beck suspension during the weekend with a slew foot happening during game number 5. And that was his second major in the last 3 games. And that gave him a suspension of the rest of the playoff, a qual 2 game and OHL. He could not play game number 6 and game number 7 if necessary for that series against the London Knights. So that was a big news. Some people was upset about this. They believe he should not be suspended. Some said that's too much. 2 games should be 1 game. Some was said, no, that's enough. I think he would deserve after he got his second major for 5 minutes and a game misconduct in the last 3 games. That's happening about Owen Beck. But we have game this weekend. First, we knew the Seattle Thunderbird won the series against the Winnipeg Ice in 5 games, and Davidson is already in the Memorial Cup 2023. Now it was the battle between Beck and the Logan Mailloux. And yesterday, guys, the Peterborough beat the London Knights, and Owen Beck is going to be in the Memorial Cup 2023. Not for Logan Mailloux because the London Knights lost. And then the Quebec Remparts won their game 5-4 in Halifax to win the series in 6 games. This is another team are going to be in the Memorial Cup. So the winner, WHL, the Charlotte Thunderbird, OHL, the Peterborough's Pete, and then finally in the QM, the Quebec Remparts with the head coach Patrick Roy. All the 3 team finalists are going to be in the Memorial Cup 2023. So I would like to hear from you guys. What do you think? What your expectation? Or tell it a little bit more. Tell me who do you think is going to win the Memorial Cup 2023. And of course, we're going to continue to give you some update when the tournament starts and talking about Owen Beck and of course Davidson for the Seattle Thunderbird. That's conclude, guys, all the subject we have for this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed, guys. The next couple of days we'll talk about friend prospect NHL draft 2023, but today we want to talk about Michkov after we talked about Bedars a couple of days ago, and of course we continue talking about the Habs prospect. But before we leave, we invite you, please don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to this channel, and finally leave us a comment about this episode, and we wish you an amazing, great, blessing day. And we want to remind you one more thing. Of course, you have greatness inside of you.